that paid the price for our freedoms, at least last weekend. We have county business before us today, and we pray for wisdom that we would make decisions proper in your sight. We do thank thee for all those that wear a badge and uniform and protect our freedoms. Watch over them and keep them safe. In all our ways, may we give you the praise. We pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. July 5th meeting, County Commissioners. First order of business is the minutes. They were sent via email. Any corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. Payroll for calendar year 2015, the 14th. Payroll is $214,833.99. We had a total of 210 claims totaling $264,177.78.
Motion to approve payroll and claims.
All in favor? 2-0. First up, money.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 87 inmates, 4 DOC, and 11 are F6 DOC. Just to update you on the chiller, still waiting on some bids. I've got one bid in, still waiting on another one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's up and running, so
That's good.
time right now.
We're going to need it this week, and it sounds like next week, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'll
Super.
keep you updated on it.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Ed is gone,
On vacation this week.
and so Nate is carrying the water.
Hopefully not too much.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Just a brief rundown. For the Community Crossings grant, as you're aware, the deadline for that is the 29th of this month. So we have projects 1, which would be bridge number 2, 1700 north over 8 Mile Creek. I've got a draft grant application here for that. And then also project number 2, bridge 203 over County Road 1000 south over the Scuffle Creek. There are other projects we could put together, talking about road conversion projects, the like. What we'll need to do is identify those projects, put together the application along with a cost estimate for those, and I would need to know their order of preference that we want to submit, because if they may award certain ones in a certain order depending on what we request. They all go out separate, but we would include a order of preference in that application as well. So I don't want to submit anything until I have all of them and in the order that you'd like to have them submitted in. So that's something that I'll need to know at the next meeting. That'll give me just enough time to make the revisions, applications, and then get those submitted in. So that gives me about 2 weeks from that meeting. So that's about cutting it close at that point. Also, as we're going through the application, we need to have letters of support. Not really a need, but it would benefit us. So I'm not sure if you want me to reach out to, talking to Jared about reaching out to the Farm Bureau, also the school districts and their transportation departments, looking for support from them to try to get these grants. It helps us kind of protect everybody. And so the landowners, if we've got major landowners in the area, if you know them, reach out to them, see if they would submit those letters. All those just get appended to the application. So
Sure.
that'd all be helpful and increase our odds of being awarded money. I forgot to hand you this. Item 2 is the ADA transition plan. We had talked about making modifications to that. I did print multiple copies of it because it's still just a draft at this point. It's mostly just language in the body, changing Beth from being the ADA coordinator to myself, removing her name from about a dozen places in the form to putting myself in one. It does change the contact to it to an ADA, just a general ADA at wellscounty.org email address. So let's see, IT over here, so I'll have to set that up before we actually start telling people to send forms to it. But it just cleans up the language. Last week, we actually, as we're doing the PACER rating, reviewed some of the sidewalks and the ramps that are part of our network. So I've got photographs of that. We're updating it. So I'm hoping to review really what our liabilities are in detail. So I need to sit down with Roy and go through in detail what that is, what state law says. So you're aware the current budget amount, the $10,000 they have, is not enough. It's more than enough to do maintenance, but it's not enough to do the replacement. Since so much of the system right now is essentially deficient, there will have to be some sort of a change and shift. So we're looking at some options, and I'm going to present some options once I know better what our total obligations are. Okay. So, I may be off as much as a factor of 2 times right now in my estimate, so I'm going to wait until I know better where we're at. So look at that. I don't want to take any action about the revision of this plan at this point, but we can talk about it again in 2 weeks once you've had a chance to kind of review that. On the traffic asset management plan, the inventory is now done. So I've driven pretty much every mile in the county in the last month and a half. So there's a rating at least written down. Lindsay's back in the office putting that into a spreadsheet right now as we speak. So hopefully we can finish that plan up. Hopefully I'll be ready to present that at the next commissioner meeting. So that should be similar to the bridge management plan. So I'm going to put together a proposed project schedule for the next 5 years. That's really going to be the key, is what order of projects that we want to put into that, as well as maintenance projects that we do. So I'm going to work with Ed on modifying how we do our annual projects and then document that in the plan. So that's going to be key.
That will be key. We've got a lot of stuff that needs attention.
And there's much, we've done a fairly good job on the maintenance work. It's the reconstruction projects. Yeah. We've actually been the opposite of NDOT in some ways. NDOT right now, so you're aware, NDOT is planning on doing more chip and seal on their asphalt roads because they put them in brand new, but then don't maintain them. They're off to the next big new project. Well, we're not doing new, we're maintaining where we're at. So we're kind of the opposite end of the same spectrum. So something that I'm hoping to transition, and under item C here, is during the inspection, there's things that we need to do differently to extend the life of the roads, to improve them when they're put in initially so that the maintenance lasts as it should. So we're developing in this plan standard road cross sections. So here's the minimum pavement widths. We've talked about that. Shoulder, side ditch, drainage that's supposed to go in when we're putting the roads in so that they stay. A proof rolling system, essentially a pre-inspection of the base. How do we want to do that? Can anybody tell me what the thickness of the pavement base should be under our roads? Well, right now it's as thick as it needs to be, and so we're going to document a little bit of that so that when we're asking for additional right-of-way, you have information to give the property owners, and so when a farm operation plans on going in on a rural road and they're putting trucks across that, what are our needs? If we're going to improve it, what is it makes sense to put 12 inches of stone in one area versus another based on what is actually out there? Right now, we can't say it. We put a standard amount in. We don't upgrade that or lower that. And we're going to start putting some standard operating procedures in bridge maintenance. I went across a number of small bridges in our gravel roads where gravel's just eating them up, and so we want to extend their life. Just simple math of it, based on the bridge inspection reports that we've done, if I can just extend the life of our average bridge 5 years, it saves us about $100,000 a year because we take a whole bridge out of our 5-year cycle. So, that's pretty significant. So,
I had a quick question.
Sure.
When I was speaking with you on Teely and 100 North at that intersection, that is going to be where the paving or surface coat goes from there to the Adams County line. There was a drainage and a utility box. I didn't know if you had an opportunity to see if that's going to be in the way with the paving project.
I have not been out to that corner.
just check that out, maybe report back.
I can do that.
That needs to be relocated. Be nice to have that intersection slightly wider with combines turning it. Clips that stop sign weekly.
450 east and 100
North.
north. Oh, we did look at that. We're going to move the stop sign east and south a little bit.
East and south.
And that should alleviate them hitting it when they cut that corner. So the stop sign we can move. We'll have to look at the.
How about the catch basin in the opposite corner of the fiber box and phone box?
I'll have to look at that one as well. We called in locates, and so they're moving that
Okay.
pole for us. So what we own that they're hitting, we're going to get out of the way.
Right. We might not own enough right away.
Yeah, and that's what we're running into is that from my records, it's 20 feet on the south side, 20 feet east side, so it's a 40-foot both ways. So really, I've got a corner, so I can't move it too much farther east. So that's why I have to move it a few feet south. That should help. It's not gonna. The problem is that somebody's cross traffic's coming south. They stay in that far right lane over and then continue to turn. They can't get wide and around.
Sure.
So, but no.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, seems simple enough, right?
No.
Thank
Nate's
you
doing
very
a great job. Thank you, Nate.
Absolutely. Very good. Roger.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
So some of the things we've been working on, of course, we've been working on budgeting, and part of that is one of the things we're looking at is an improved email solution. Right now, we have an in-house server that does some internal email and calendaring, and we have outside email going through our ISP. So we're going to try to combine those because right now having the two things set up, it's kind of an odd setup, and it takes a little extra training to use properly anyway. And so we'll figure since we're going to have to be upgrading part of it, we can make some improvements.
Okay.
We've been working on a few workstation upgrades. We've been working on we upgraded one of the servers at the jail to store more video taken by deputy dash cams. That had maxed out, and so we increased the capacity on that. And we got Nate set up with a computer and supplies and an email address. And probably one more.
And one more to come.
Check your email, though. So that's just among the other break fix stuff, what we've been up to.
So not a lot of major, just keeping everything running.
Right. I haven't had any. I mean, the biggest thing was that big upgrade at the jail, because that quadrupled their capacity. So hopefully that'll be helpful for them. But other than that, haven't had a lot of other major upgrades or anything.
Sorry about your dad.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow. That fast.
Yeah, that fast.
14 minutes.
We're not done yet. Beth hasn't finished.
Beth's got a good.
That has nothing.
Beth has nothing.
Nothing.
Do you want to talk about the application
I
stuff that's
noticed.
out there, or
Yeah, I do. I have an ad that's running for a community corrections advisory board member, because that's coming up. So it's going to be advertising. I didn't bring it with me. I have the deadline when it come up, so you will have that at your.
I noticed on the
Next
website that
I put it up there.
Kim Butcher.
Yes.
Am I butchering her last name? I apologize. But her date and Greg's was identical. So I don't know if
They're
they
supposed
need
to be getting. I've requested that they get me the dates of what
Okay.
they're showing as the expiration dates, because I'm not sure all of them are right.
Right.
And I'm not, and I haven't got,
So
I
maybe-
requested it, they haven't
Right.
got it to me yet.
In the event that hers needs to be, so we'll have to have two copies.
Right.
So,
So I have that, and I have the library. It will be going in that ad after I meet tonight with the council, because I'm waiting on them, because we have an opening for both commissioners and council, so I could run one ad
Right.
for the both of them. So I'll do
Thanks.
that after I have that meeting tonight to see if they want to be included in that.
Sure.
So then that ad will be going in. So we kind of put the process in place that we will advertise for any board appointments that come available.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks for all your work.
No-
Do
no
a fantastic job. Makes it a little bit smoother for me.
She does good work.
Anything that you or Roy have? Okay.
The Ripon Fire Department's running rescue funding next year as budget time increases.
Nothing's been presented from Ossian, Liberty, or Bluffton, so.
You know how much of the line item is being spent?
How much has been spent
How
already?
much has been spent? I don't have an updated one. I just have what's budgeted. I don't know how.
25 was budget. I know we
No,
haven't met
20.
that.
20, it's
20,
usually.
Yeah.
but we have not met that.
I
was
can't
thinking
say.
when we were talking budgets a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
it
I
had
can't
not been
remember.
reached.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's been reached yet or not. I really don't remember.
Better not speak out of turn until we get you
Yeah.
that number.
Yeah.
So,
But we haven't heard from them, so.
but we could make sure that it would be available at our next commissioner meeting if you
Yeah.
want to ask.
Yeah.
That'd be super.
Usually June 30th, I run updated for the half a year. And today's the first day back, and I haven't got all my reports for him.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep. Audience, wide open.
It's going to be a record short meeting.
And Kevin's gone to miss it.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's why it's record short.
The children will play.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are finished. Wow.